Well, welcome to the second day of my day ticket series. We're still in lockdown. It's still bloody winter and it's freezing, but we're at China Lane, or as some people know it, Slough House. I got down here nice and early. The bailiff's given me some good tips. He said the fish like the two ends of the bowls underneath the trees. There's about 5 foot of water and they get there a lot, so that will be my starting point. I've got a few solid bags tied up and a little bright hook bait. I'm not going to be using a lot of bait today, it's still very cold, but I'm going to get these rods out. I'm just waiting for this light to lift a little bit so I can see where the branches are from the trees, and I'm going to get the rods in and hopefully we're going to get another winter carp. So we got the first rod out and just about get the second rod out. I've got another dispersed PVA bag on, slightly bigger this time. You can see the yellow bait there, that's on my pop down rig that I showed you before, but we will look at again later. So I decided to go down the solid bag route today. It's a very good method to take to any lake you've never fished. This lake, I probably fished it the last time well over 10 years ago. So I thought I'd come here, little solid bags, yellow pop-ups in them that have just got a little SSG underneath them to hold that hook flat on the bottom and just sit above that pellet on the bottom. It's a perfect presentation. And I really do love fishing PVA bags. We've got 3 in the range at RidgeMonkey, a small, medium and a large. So the small are excellent for whacking out 100, 120 yards with them. But if you want to put a big parcel of bait in the margin, you can always use a big bag and just lower it in off your rod tip. Absolutely brilliant way of catching fish. On the other rod, I've got a little Ronnie rig with a yellow pop-up. That's been doing me bites everywhere I've been going at the moment, so I'd be silly to ignore it. I've got that on as well. So I've got 3 rods in the lake. It's gone very still and calm. It's a cold day, so hopefully something will happen. I love little spots like this. A little bit of crumb cell. And you only need a few bits. And I'm tight to the bank, so I always do a little bit further out so that my hook bait seems the safest possible choice for them to eat. And everything I'm putting in here is tiny little bits. The water's freezing cold, metabolism's super slow, so crushing up the bait into tiny little bits makes it so much more digestible and gives you a chance of a quick bite when you've only got a day to get one. That hit so many fish. Moving that rod has paid off. I chucked a zig out on my little soft rod. It's been out there 5 minutes and we're away. So yeah, it just goes to show, keeping mobile, flicking zigs around in the winter, definitely the way to get a few bites. And this is real good fun on this soft rod, I tell you. It's only a £2 test curve rod, and I love using it this time of year. It's mega fun. I'm gonna have to get that net ready, I think. Plenty of snags in the margin here, so trying to keep it away from them. Well, what an absolute ruck that was on my little £2 rod. It was bent into the handle. Mega battle. And we're off the mark. Let's have a look at what we got. £23. And on the 1st of February, from a day ticket, on a day session, we'll take that. all day long. Well, there you go, 23 pounds on the nose. We'll see a fish roll. Stuck a rod out there, it was only out there 10 minutes and it's ramped off. On a zig, 5 foot off the bottom, little bit of red and black foam. Well happy with that. Beautiful winter carp. Well, what a result. We're only doing a day session and we've managed to nick a 23. And again, the zig has not let me down. The zig is such an underrated method. A little bit of foam sat in their mid layers where fish probably spend 95% of their time, particularly in the winter, and it's just in their face. And as they swim along, they mouth it in straight to a lead and they're on. I've been using zigs now for probably the best part of 15 years. And most of that is done in the winter, and the reason being is they love a bit of sunlight on their back. If you think about a body of water, it's a solid temperature. There's no more reason for them to be mid layers or near the surface as there is for the bottom, and they spend a lot of time in them layers. The hook I'm using for this is the Apex choddy. I do like to use a straight point on my zigs, so as the fish shuts its mouth, the point is immediately down and you get a better impact on the hook. I'm going to get this back out and try and catch another one. There we go. That rod's just gone from under them trees. And that was on the Ronnie rig, on a little yellow bait. Cast tight underneath that tree line. I don't think it's a big fish, but it's a fish. So there you go. Totally different method, tight up under a margin, under a bush, on a little Ronnie rig, and it's given us another fish. Little bit of crumb over the top, typical winter tactics that work for me a lot. What a result. Let's get him out and have a little look. So there's only a little one, and there you are. Little apex curve has nailed him in the bottom lip, fished Ronnie style, on about 8 or 9 inches of fluorocarbon. Beautiful little rig that, and like I said earlier, it's been doing the damage everywhere for me this winter. Really good little rig. Let's put that down there and have a quick look at this common and get it back. It's only a small one. Still got the leeches on him. Come off you, give him a break. Well, there you go. Typical little common for Slough House. I think we was quite lucky to get that 23 pounder, although I do know they go to 32 pounds in here, so this is a little one. So I'm going to chuck him back and hopefully we'll get another one. Got a few hours left. There you go, mate. Water's freezing. So here's the rig I just had the little comment on. It's the Slip-D Rotator Rig. I've got a size 4 Apex hook on there, still super sharp, about 7 inches of fluorocarbon, and then at this end I've got a quick change swivel, so if the hook link was become damaged or the hook blunt, I can quickly change it. This rig is perfect for this time of year when you've got a lot of debris and old leaves laying on the bottom. The pop-up will come down nice and slowly and just sit above all the debris, and it's still exposed to the carp. Your yellow hook bait will always work well in the winter. When the water's freezing cold and their metabolism's slow, their eyesight really dwindles, and that yellow bait can still be seen and still be smelt. So there's a few vital things you should know about winter fishing. Firstly, pick a decent venue. The one I've come to today has got 300 or 400 fish. I've got a very good chance for bite. I've got plenty of tea kit with me, food, warm clothing, so I'm nice and comfortable. There's only one other angler on here today, so if I was to see fish somewhere else, I'm fishing so light I can just chuck my gear on the barra and I'm off and getting on them. Well, Slough House, our second venue in the day ticket challenge, and what a great day it's been. I turned up, in my mind I thought solid bags are really going to work here. Ended up being the zig that done the fish and the small yellow bait on the Ronnie. You never know what's going to catch, so it always pays. You've got 3 rods to mess around a little bit, at least on one, find out what's working, then get all 3 on it. Anyway, the light is drawing in, it's getting colder. I'm going to get home because there's a decent episode of Married at First Sight going to be on tonight, so I'll see you later.